Breaking news coming out of Washington today, ladies and gentlemen, as wide receiver Terry McLaurin requests a trade from the Burgundy and Gold. I can't say I'm surprised, but I am a little bit disappointed. The Burgundy Breakdown is breaking all that down and more coming up next. Fellas, welcome back into the Burgundy Breakdown. This is a urgent video that we have to talk about tonight as Terry McLaurin, Washington Commander wide receiver, requests a trade as this long-standing contract negotiation back and forth seems to have taken yet another negative turn. I'm with Reedie from Reedie and Zee and Jon from Ballin In Burgundy podcast. Fellas, how are we doing tonight?
Nah, it ain't it.
Wasn't expecting this to come out, but we're here.
I'm a blow a gasket. I'm a constant, but
You look red over there, Jon. You looking a little red over there, man.
Man, I was in the middle of my shift at work when I got this tweet come across my desk, and I said, "Oh, if I don't go beat someone in the break room, beat someone up in the break room right now, I'm gonna have a fit." So I raced home, immediately changed into my Terry, shirt and everything, and here we are. So yeah, your boy is famished, thirsty, and upset.
Just so everybody knows, here on the Burgundy Breakdown, we do not condone any violence at all in any break room around the country, especially at Jon's job.
Yeah, definitely.
My bad.
Definitely don't encourage that. But
It's my
I'll
bad.
start it off. I'll start it off. I when I first saw this, I got the notification that it happened. I was like, oh man, this is not what I was expecting. But I wasn't surprised, as my panic meter or whatever may have you did not rise at all because I've been two steps ahead of this whole process, this whole entire time, from the Eastern Motors little scrum to everything antic wise that Terry McLaurin has pulled. I had said, this is not Terry McLaurin. This is his agent putting the battery in his back, telling him to do these things. Now this is the last ditch effort to get Washington to bite and pay the money that his agent is telling him. I think his agent personally is putting into his head that he's worth $34, $35 million. You can't sit up here and tell me all of a sudden this guy, Terry McLaurin, who was a team first player, a guy that isn't selfish, all of a sudden is this selfish, I want $34, $35 million kind of guy all of a sudden. I think if Terry McLaurin was representing himself or Terry McLaurin had any other representation, he would have signed that $28 to $30 million deal. Because as we've waited throughout this whole entire offseason for this contract extension to get done, he has lost nothing but leverage. The leverage that he thought he had prior to Courtland Sutton's deal is now gone. The leverage that you could say he could have had somewhat of Garrett Wilson is now gone. So I think his agent has done nothing but negatively impacted this whole entire process, and it's impacting not only just Washington fans but Terry McLaurin, because the longer this goes, it seems like Washington organization-wise, Adam Peters' side, they're not budging because they're set at their number.
Yeah, it's this. Oh man, this agent. I don't know him personally. We don't know Buddy Baker. I almost called him Buddha Baker for a second, but that's just disrespectful to Buddha and Bakers. No, Buddy Baker. I don't know you personally. I don't care to know you personally right now. I need what is it? Is it your rent? Is rent due? Are you in debt to OnlyFans? Are you gambling? Are you going the Shannon Sharp route and paying escorts to screw your future? Like, what are we doing here? To where you are nickeling and diming this contract. You, like Juan said, Terry could have signed for $29.5 million a year, got a pay raise this year, 3 more years. You could have been a 4-year deal with the 4th year is, a void year. But now here we are, July 30. It ain't even August 1st. It is July 31st. We still have two training camps, a few joint practices, and the preseason, and then 38 days till week 1 kickoff. How? We touched on this last night. How is this still a problem? How? Oh, I called him a Disneyland employee last night. And my apologies to all Disneyland employees, because he's popping out like Popeye's chicken when the chicken sandwich came out. No one wants it anymore. All right. I am sick and tired of Buddy Baker because I'm just gonna calm down, let Reedie go before I go on a tyrant.
I don't understand what the uproar is about. I honestly don't. And I'm going to take the stance of Terry. Like, yes, he is a team first guy. Yes, he is humble. Yes, he is every other adjective you want to describe him as: a good teammate, a good man, a good husband, a good human being. But at the end of the day, this is a business. So I want to just put ourselves into, if we were a player, take our way from us being a fan of a team. So I think I have a theory why fans always want to get mad when players request trades or they want to hold out for money and things of that nature, because we just want our organization to run fluidly and just seamless. We want to get to the football about it. We don't really want to lose the player. And we're kind of like team first. But the players looking at it like, I'm not going to be playing football forever. I'm one catastrophic injury away from being sipping from a tube or having CTE. So I got to get mine when I can get mine. So if we put ourselves in that perspective of Terry McLaurin, this will be his 3rd contract. He's not going to get paid again. So he got to make a stand. I get it. I understand it. We all want to go as business as usual. We all are, we're living on this high of, we have finally arrived to the party. We haven't been to the party in so long that we want everything just to go seamlessly. But it is what it is. It is what it is. If Terry gets traded, okay, we'll be sad, but we will move on. If Terry resigns, we're going to be happy. We're going to forget about all of this. We're going to forget about his agent. We're going to forget about this, that. We're going to forget what date it is. We're going to forget that it's 30-something days until week 1 if we're back playing football. Either way, it is what it is. It's business. It's just, it's not personal. It's business. It comes down to dollars and cents. And we always want to, I was just telling Zee a few minutes ago when I was talking to him, I'm like, bro, like we're always like on the side of the organization. Organizations do crazy things all the time. Like, he knows his worth. He knows what he feels like he's worth, his value. So he's standing on business. I don't have a problem with it. Me personally. I don't have a problem with it. Whenever it gets done, it gets done. I'm kind of tired of talking about it. We knew that this was going to happen. If you read the tea leaves, Juan was just saying that the other day. Last week, I believe. So if we read the tea leaves, we know this is a part of the process. This happens in every negotiation. We were just sitting on the show, us three, along with Zee, blazing for Myles Garrett. What happened? He requested a trade. As soon as he requested a trade, a little couple weeks went by, signs an astronomical deal. So this is just a part of the process. Like, we don't need to be up in an uproar as a fan base, as whomever. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Terry won his money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. This is his last hurrah for real. So, I got to go out on top. Lake was also saying that, if it's a $3 to $4 to $5 million deal, he'll get that back if we win the Super Bowl. But That's a what if. If we win the Super Bowl, it's not guaranteed. You got to play the games. What I'm saying?
He'll hit incentives like hit 1,000 yards. Here's $1 million. Have 10+ touchdowns. Here's $1 million. Make a Pro Bowl. Here's another $1 million. Have an All-Pro season. Like, he's gonna make some of that difference back. And Lake's 100%. If and when we make a Super Bowl, and if and when we win one, that Super Bowl paycheck is gonna be a few million right there.
So, but what if we hit week 5 and he tears his ACL? Then those incentives go out the window. So it's a 50-50. It's a wash.
But that's why you build 3 guarantees.
I mean, yeah, that too. But you know, it's a tough discussion to really have.
It is,
because it's like you want to be pro team, but then also you want to be pro player. Because I'm looking at it from the perspective of, if it was me or if it was my son, I would be telling him to get what he thought he's worth.
Right.
It's always going to be doubters. It's always going to be naysayers. It's always going to be people that's going to believe that you're not this and you're not that. But ultimately, to make it to this league, you have to have confidence in yourself. Terry it's always bet on himself. He didn't even start. He was in the 11th grade in high school. He had a rough route when he got to Ohio State. And he was a dog in high school, coming out of high school. So everybody always been doubting Terry. So now he's trying to stand up and stand on his 10 toes down for what he believes he should get. I'm with it. Do I want him signed today? Yes. Do I want to put this behind us? Yes. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. I think this is the most I've seen a fan base torn and with the situation, because on one hand you have this section of the fan base that's saying what Reedie is saying, like, pay Terry McLaurin, give him what he's worth, and I understand why he is standing on what he's standing on. But then you have this section of the fan base that's saying, "Oh, trade him. Oh, get rid of him. Oh, I'm with Adam because he's not worth this money." And on one hand, I feel like Terry McLaurin definitely deserves to be in the 30s, but even more bigger than that, I have a hard time feeling that Terry McLaurin genuinely think he's worth the amount of money that they're saying he's asking for. Again, I go back and I know it sounds like a broken record, but I go back to the representation putting a battery in his back to fulfill something that they know they can't get done. This isn't the same organization that's just going to sit here and force feed money to people. We've done that in the past with old regimes, and we've seen how it is played out. And this isn't to say Terry McLaurin is downtrodden or he's showing signs of slowing down, not at all. But I respectfully want Terry McLaurin here. I would love Terry McLaurin to be back. He's my favorite player of all time, right? My favorite current player still. But it's hard for me to be upset at, like you said, and kind of in the middle. It's hard for me to be upset at anybody. I'm not upset at Terry for wanting his money. I'm not upset at the organization for standing firm to feel like we ain't paying you as much as your agent or as you may feel like you need to be paid. But again, back to Reedie's main point, we simply just want this to be over with. Like, it don't we're tired of talking about it. We're supposed to be a team that's preparing for a Super Bowl, and yet we're still talking about 1-7 not having his contract.
Yep. Here's my other thing. If and when this gets done, and this is going to get done, we're not going to have an owner like somewhere in Big D saying, well, we signed a guy last year and then he got hurt, and now our owner's not Jerry Jones to where, if, like, to Reedie's point, if he gets hurt, week 5 tears his ACL, that's why you have injury guarantees built in. But we're not going to be in the media trashing Terry for getting hurt and be like, no, we're going to pay him his money. He's going to come back. He's going to get healthy. My thing is, and it's pretty much what Louis Riddick said on First Take a few days ago, and what we said last night when we shared it. How did it get to this point? Because I believe Terry would have taken what Brady called a home team discount to stay and get pieces. Like, if I don't see a scenario where he wasn't in some sort of little bit, like, saying, hey, we're going to bring Debo in. Hey, we're going to bring back Noah Brown. Like, the fact that Debo was talking about Terry, like, slightly today at training camp with Kay Adams, of like, no, when Terry's back kind of thing, can't wait to show him what we all got. We won't know because he's still not on the field. He's autographing with fans and his agent's out with him, but he's not practicing. How did it get to this point? And people are going to blame AP. You can make that discussion. You can make that conversation. You can blame Terry. I'm not doing that. I put it all on the agent.
I don't agree. It can't be all on the agent because it takes two to tango. So it takes his representation and it also takes the organization to find a common ground. So yes, okay. Most times in most negotiations, that's if you're a used car salesman and I'm coming to your lot and I'm trying to purchase a car. And say the car is $30,000, the price. So okay, I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna go check the Blue Book value. I'm going to look for the Carfax. I'm going to look for all of these things to try to find wiggle room in that car. Then you can look up some things. You can also see what they paid for that car sometimes, and then you can try to negotiate that from there. So like, this is a negotiation. Okay, Terry and them saying they might be high on their number. Terry might only want like 32, but he's coming in saying I want 35, 36. To see what they're saying. And they're probably like, oh, now we're at 20,
28.
But if he's at 27, I believe his last contract was like 24, 25. So
he'll make 25 this year.
So what was his annual contract with his last contract? For every year.
I'm gonna pull that up right now.
Find out what that is, then we could fairly determine that, he should make a little bit more. But the other outlier that's out there is Terry is still under contract. You still got to honor your contract because you signed that last contract. So I get that there's no guaranteed money involved right now, but like you gotta honor that contract. And I get if he gets hurt, then there's a lot of unknowns, and he won't be able to cash in. Blah 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 blah. It hurts him. I get it. I get the reason why, but it is what it is. If I'm Terry and I was making 25 and they're offering me 27, so you're telling me I'm only worth a pay raise of $2 million with inflation over?
Yeah. So he signed a 3-year, $68.364, so $68.3 million extension, $28 million signing bonus, $53.15 guaranteed. This being his last year is his biggest pay raise.
Right.
So at age 27, his cap hit, so pretty much what we would be paying him, 7.3 mil. Then it goes up to 11 mil. Last year he made 24. This year he's making 25.5. So his annual value really wasn't all that high.
Yeah, 68 million. So I think we get this done around 90 million. 70 million guaranteed, 3-year deal. I mean, that's what I would say. But yeah, go ahead, Juan.
Yeah, that's the thing. Going back to your point about him being under contract still, and that's why. Well, first of all, let's go with the main thing right quick. Washington is not trading Terry McLaurin.
No.
They already made that abundantly clear that is not going to be the case. Terry McLaurin requesting a trade has nothing to do with Washington and him this year. This is all about next year, and will they let him hit free agency? Will franchise tag come into play? That's where this is referring to. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, we were glazing Miles Garrett. He requested a trade, ended up going back to Cleveland. Brandon Ayuk, same thing. T. Higgins, same thing. Like Lamar Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, these guys all requested trades to end up getting a contract extension. So this doesn't damage that. It just goes back to the point of why the hell are we here when Terry McLaurin is this kind of guy. He's a commander. Y'all value him this high, but yet we're still not having this contract extension or being done. And that's where like you said, Reedie, it takes two to tango. I have a tough time believing that he'll accept that contract that you just put out there. How much is that annually that you said? 90 million? What did you say annually?
90 million, 70 guaranteed, 3-year contract extension.
I think that's a fair deal, but it's like apparently it seems as if he wants to be in the $105, the $100 million range.
Yeah, is that fair? So 70 by 3 years, that's an average of 23 and a third guaranteed every year. So it's the Courtland Sutton contract.
That's what Tom Pelissero said that he's going to get.
It's roughly that, yeah.
That's the Courtland Sutton deal. I think that's where Washington is trying to have him at. And Terry's clearly better than Courtland Sutton, but clearly Washington's main reason why they don't want to pay him is where he's at right now.
Well, okay, so take it to a clean Take it to a clean 100 million overall deal, 70 million guaranteed, and that should get it done. He'll be around like 28, 27, 29 million dollars, somewhere in that ballpark, slightly under 30. You know.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna run this by you then. So Sutton and Calvin Ridley are all tied. In their contracts. Terry right now is the 20th highest paid wide receiver on a average salary year. I'm gonna list I'm gonna list the wide receivers in front of him. I want to see where y'all go. Better than Cortland Sutton?
Yes.
Calvin Ridley?
Yes.
Michael Pittman Jr.?
Yes.
Nico Collins?
Personally would take him over Nico Collins, yes.
That's subjective. It depends.
That's a debate, though. That could definitely be a debate.
Yep.
But I would take him over Terry. Oh, I'd take Terry.
Devonta Smith?
That's a debate as well.
I'd take Terry over Devonta Smith.
I don't know.
DJ Moore?
Yes.
Jalen Waddle?
Yes.
T. Higgins?
It's debatable.
It's debatable. Brandon Ayuk?
I think he's better than Ayuk. He's better than Ayuk.
Tyreek can't keep a family together. Hill?
No.
Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I personally think so, yes. But the rest of the NFL doesn't. So I'm not going to sit that argument.
Yep.
I agree with Juan on that. I would give Terry the slight edge, but I mean, it's a lot of different factors that come involved with it, as far as having the quarterbacks and stuff like that. So Terry is kind of hard because you don't really know what he would have really been if he had Jaden Daniels from year one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or if he had some of these better quarterbacks. So it's tough to really say. Like, you know, he's outlived anything that I thought he was when we first got him. He's outlived all of that.
For sure.
But I feel like I've always said, I feel like he needs to click into that next level as far as his yardage. Like, he's barely getting 1,000 yards. He needs to like try to up that by 300-400 yards, somewhere in that range, to kind of like solidify himself as a bona fide top 5 receiver in this league.
Yeah. Here's the reason why I ask that. Outside of Tyreek Hill, all of them are younger by a year to 3 years. Everyone else is getting whatever salary. Waddle's at 28 and a quarter. DJ's at 27 and a half. Devonta's at 25 flat. Nico's at 24 and a quarter. Tyreek's at a flat 30. Ayuk's at a flat 30. Amon-Ra's at a flat 30 and $500. AJ's at 32. Garrett Wilson at 32 and a half. DK at 33. CD 34. Justin 35. Jamar 40 and a quarter.
Well, I feel like the DK's contract is based off of his potential and then his age, because like for him to grow into that, and then the way the market is moving. How old is Cheetah?
Cheetah's 30. Cheetah.
So when did he sign his last deal? Last year?
I think it's been 2 years since he signed that deal. He signed it in last season, 2024.
Yeah, so then that all goes back to the debate. Like, Terry has just got, his timing is just bad from when he's about to hit 30. So they had 2 years of him under the age of 30, and his annual value based off of what he did up until then was the 30 million. So that's what Terry, that's the issue with Terry, is just like the timing of this contract.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is in the Tyreek thing, those last 2 to 3 years, so like, because he's still working on, I think, an extra money from when he first got traded to Miami. Like, I think they put him on a 2-year deal, and then he got this contract. He has like 2 void years in 27 and 28, to where the cap hit is like less than $5 million, and a potential out year next year with a 15-year dead cap. Like, Tyreek signed for a 3-year, $90 million contract, roughly 60 guaranteed. So 2/3 of that were guaranteed. So I think Terry's going to get closer to like a 3-year 120 with like 90 guaranteed. I think he's looking for that 30. That 30 flat.
Yeah, I think that's where the conversation is going to max out at. I think what Washington is looking at is probably 28 around that range, and he wants to be up in the 30s. But I think that's the fair deal. I think both sides have to move a little bit, and I think
Yeah.
both sides are too rigid in their stance. Terry's too high, and AP and the front office is too
Too low.
stuck to be that low. And I think Terry McLaurin is rightfully a person that deserves to be at least in the 30s, high 30 or low 30s.
Yeah.
No, at least. And if Washington doesn't view him as that, then that's a problem in itself because it's like, what are we doing? He's
Yeah.
still a damn good player.
Mhm.
But yeah, fellas, it's not it's not the news that we want, and we're still
No.
having to continue to talk about this. But this was fun for
Mhm.
this almost 30-minute episodes. More
Yeah.
videos will be coming out like this along with our live streams, the Burgundy Breakdown. Live every Wednesday around 9:30-ish, 9:45-ish. So be on the lookout for the videos and the live streams for this channel as we are trying to take this thing to the next level. But also don't forget to subscribe to Reedie and Zee's channel, John Ballin In Burgundy podcast, and me, Juan Gotti talking sports as we are also on the grind with our separate channels. It's been the Burgundy Breakdown. I'm Juan.
I'm Jon.
I'm Reedie. And
We'll
we're
catch
gone.
y'all next time.